On Tuesday, we gathered in the streets with our community, bearing witness to the righteous rage, to the lament, to the pain that was a pulse throughout our community. We gathered knowing, serving in this community, I'm a pastor in this community, not only a chair of a coalition. We gathered knowing that Tuesday night did not begin on Tuesday night.
That's right.
Yesterday evening, we went back out into the streets with our community, with protesters, to once again bear witness, to be a faithful presence to the pain, to the lament, to the righteous rage, to the protest. We began at Little Rock, AME Zion, and from there we went to Marshall Park. Soon we knew that people were gathering, our people, the people we serve, were gathering throughout the city. And so the 40 clergy that came out wearing yellow armbands began to spread out into different places so they could be with our community. Some of our clergy went back to Little Rock. Some stayed at Marshall Park. Some went over to the police department. And some headed to the epicenter. The night began with such promise and beauty, seeing people, frankly, come together in our community and protest. We had children out there. We had young organizers, 18, 19, 20. We had seniors and elders in our community who knew the pain and felt it and bore witness to it. Early in the evening, the police were around in the community on bicycles and in uniforms. And then I received a text message from a colleague, please come to the epicenter. As I approached the epicenter with one of my colleagues, we saw that the police were there in riot gear lined up, and something in the air had changed. The police officers in riot gear were flanked on either side of Trade Street, and so we gathered with our community, with the protesters. And as we gathered with them, we took hands, and then the police began to walk toward us. They marched toward us. And they waited until people gathered around them. We were standing there, gathered around them. The same police, many of them that we had spoken with the night before, that we had protected and promised that they would get home safely. And they did. We stood in front of them, staring at them in their eyes. But this time, there was not conversation, there was a line that was formed. The police moved from standing in front of us to standing to the side, forming a line of 2 officers, all in riot gear, with bully sticks out. We then gathered around the police again, once again with our community, and they marched down Trade. No command was given as the night before to move. No issue or instruction was given. They marched us down into the Omni. As they gathered, they put their backs to the glass door, and then we saw people begin to be struck with the clubs. We saw people falling and hitting the floor. We heard a shot. People began to run. It was chaos. I want to be clear, we came to be a presence for justice. Clergy, faith leaders, 40 of us in this city out in the night. As soon as the shot was fired, we heard a smoke bomb. As soon as the smoke bomb was released, we heard some kind of light or sound bomb, a flash bomb, and then tear gas. We could not run out of there fast enough as the canisters were released out into us. People were dispersing. We were running. This is a city that made me a minister. It's the first place I've served. This is a city where I married my spouse, where I had my children. And now this is the city that tear gassed me. Last night did not have to end like it ended. It did not have to end like it ended.
Yes.
We want to be clear about that. We have critical hours now as our city is being militarized. We praise the decision of leaders not to have a curfew, which we know would further militarize us.
Amen.
We are begging as faith leaders serving in this city for action that will de-escalate.
Yes.
Tonight, the end of tonight is not yet written. Thank you.
Thank you.